list of them to pick from. Let me see, what do we want to do here? I'm gonna do an old tune off a record I put out. The record's called Idaho. This song's called 100 Milk Cows for Mary. And I was listening to some Doc Watson on the way here, and I'm gonna kind of do a little Doc Watson style of it. Where you headed, stranger, asked is a passing by. Where you headed, stranger, asked is a passing by. Said I'm going to West Texas, there's a little girl I wanna find. Yeah, I'm gonna see Mary, she'll be sleeping at her mother's house. Gonna see Mary, she's at her mother's house. I steal 6 white horses and 100 milk cows. Last time I saw her, father run me out the door. This time I saw her, father run me out the door. Said he'd catch me again and make sure he don't catch me no more. You know what that means. Ah, buzz, curses and shouts, the death on my ear, 'cause I'd gladly die if I died near my sweet little Mary, the country queen. Railroad track on this runaway dream. Said I'm gonna see Mary, she'll be sleeping in her mother's house. I'm gonna see Mary, she'll be sleeping in her mother's house. I'm stealing 6 white horses and 100 milk cows. That's right, this is for Doc.
Dillon, Warnek, everybody. Mr. Jim Page, so we got a full 2 hours last night with Jim Page. Through the summer months, we've got Jim Page playing the first Thursday of every month here in our neighborhood. And so, Jim, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, I love these round robins when the robins get around. I'm taking the bridge and the freeway all the way over from Seattle town. Now, I could get that 520, but, you know, they charge you a toll. And I figure it's enough money for insurance and gasoline just to make them wheels roll. So I go 90.
Yeah.
There's the police right behind me.
Yeah, they're here now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on my tail. Yeah. But I've been looking forward to this gig because you don't have to get a roll going, and you don't have to make sure that one song makes sense after another song. I was looking forward to hearing Dillon Warnek play and sing. So I figured I would do this song. And it's called There He Is and There He Goes. And that's kind of an appropriate backdrop of sound, actually, the car alarm. And if you'd been there, you'd know. It goes like this. It's about a friend of mine who passed away last year. A better friend you never had. Big brother, dear old dad. Man about town. Wheels rolling round. Back in the old fresh air. Seemed like everybody was there. Harvey Mandel and Sugar King. Now it'll never be the same. There he is, and there he goes. There he is, goes. You had a mean right swing, in and out of the ring, for the ones you love, and for the golden gloves. And on a crosstown trail, riding around with a third rail, and all the boys in blue sure like to get their hands on you. There he is, and there he goes. There he is, and there he goes. I used to sleep on the couch with your scooter on the floor. I guess I won't be doing that anymore. Everything smelled like dogs and motor oil. It was an oasis in a world of turmoil. You're getting old or slowing down. You get a job downtown. You work in the longshore, just like your brother before. Going out for one last fling. Oh, the songs we could sing, all about you and your buddy John John. Yeah, but now those days are long gone. There he is, and there he goes. There he is, and there he goes. The girls stand up on the sidelines and they cry. Even the Iron Man gets a tear in his eye. So raise your glass and drink a toast to whoever it is that you love the most. I'm on my way. Every step is a brand new day. Yeah, life is good. It's going by just like it should. Yes, in this old town, sure got some stories to hold it down. And I know they broke the mold when this story got told. I know they broke the mold when this story got told.
Nice work, Jim. So I got the chance to bring the guitar out and meet with some other musicians, to go a couple blocks away from here and play some street music for a city meeting, talking about the town growing and what it's gonna look like, and the park that's going in there. At the same time, I took part of a couple of jams that happened right out in the tall grass right here. I was driving or walking by QFC. I heard the coolest bluegrass band singing out there. It's nice to have you guys here in town too. The music's in the air, the sunshine's flying, and this is a song I wrote right here about that. Believing in the backbeat, dreaming in the backseat, turning on the radio and dialing up the inner flow, rolling up a little hope, burning down and let it smoke. There's something in me trying to be. Oh, throw it all away. Don't hold back tomorrow for the sake of yesterday. Open your eyes up wide. Let a painter help you see what a poet can't describe, and a singer make you feel what a dancer holds inside. No, don't hold it inside. In the heat of the sunshine, in the summer when her heart was mine, making love in the tall grass, the way she could move her, falling into soft skin, and knowing I could come in, the taste of bliss caught in a kiss. Oh, throw it all away, don't hold back tomorrow for the sake of yesterday. Open your eyes up wide. Let a painter help you see what a poet can't describe, and a singer make you feel what a dancer holds inside. Don't hold it inside. Play the moment like a sweet song and drink it up until it's all gone. Stand like the sunrise, be the truth behind the lies. And in your heart you gotta hold fast. Nothing here is meant to last. There's something in me just trying to be. Oh, throw it all away. Don't hold back tomorrow for the sake of yesterday. Open your eyes up wide. Yeah. Let a painter help you see what a poet can't describe, and a singer make you feel what a dancer holds inside. You can run, but you can't hide. Believing in the backbeat and dreaming in the back seat. Hey, thanks. Yes. Good. We got a question from the crowd. Yes. Yeah. Oh, sure. There's a park. Has anybody seen that green grass down there? Okay. So you guys really need to look off of the road sometimes and stop texting and driving or something. But we've got this little park that's growing. It's this little piece of grass out there, and we're holding this space that the people that live in our town are creative and vibrant and have a say and a desire to build the town we want our children to live in, and so the two streets in town are turning into two-way streets, with one being the idea of being more like a Pike Place market or that area, with street musicians and places to hang out and a street to walk on by and busking, and so we've been dreaming it up. I've been on the Arts Commission for the last 5 years, just graduated a couple of months ago, and so I'm now back to just a troublemaking musician, which I feel much more comfortable about. And so it's the opportunity that with this spring comes our voices, and when we use our voices, get involved with our town. Crystal Edwards is here. She's highly involved with VALA Eastside, an art organization that opened up in town center, and all of that. So the scene is growing, and it's made up of us, and our voices are to be heard. So there's an answer to one question. Does anybody got a question for you? Yes. Sure. Uh-oh.
Those words that you put, a painter, help us see what a poet can't describe.
Yeah.
Does that just come to your brilliant mind?
Well, yeah. What a great question, and phrased so nicely too.
You have the brilliant mind.
The brilliant
Who'd
mind.
you
I didn't
steal
hear that
it
part
from?
again. Okay, so you just asked the golden question. Where do they come from? I might want to say throw the answer to maybe Mr. Jim Page. Jim, where do lines come from like that? Where?
I don't know where your lines come from. All I would say was that if the reason that people paint things is because you can't say whatever that thing is any other way, and a song says things that can't be said any other way, and that's to me obviously why you would say something like that.
But where do lines like for you come from? Of those lines that are magical. Because I've seen you play so many times, and when you play, I'm listening, right? And some of your best lines that are that poignant, you'll even throw them off a little bit. You might even lower the volume of it so that only the people that are really listening hear that. It's like the Jim Pageism. Where do you think words come
pay
from?
Attention. I pay attention. I mean, you should pay attention off stage. You should think off stage and not think on stage. You should pay attention on stage, but don't think too much. All your thinking is done off stage, basically, so that when you go up there, you actually do have an arsenal of perspectives that you've built up. I mean, you can't expect people to come and see you if you don't have something collected within you that has to do with them. Otherwise, why would you be here?
Yeah.
Just to kind of adulate somebody that wants your money,
yeah.
Something like that. I mean, that happens enough in the outside world. And if we're going to change things, we have to have a different reason for going to see people on stage. And the people on stage have to have a different reason for doing it, right?
Yeah.
So you do your homework, you pay attention, and then, when the event happens, there you are.
Yeah.
You're all ready. And if you come up with something brilliant, great. And if you don't, that's okay. But, I mean, we all need to progress.
Yeah. Now, Dillon, where do you come up with your words? You get them somewhere on Lake City Way, right?
Yeah.
There's a shop that's open.
Ian, I don't.
Where do they come from for you, man?
I know that they don't come a lot more than they do. So if I can find out where they're coming from, I'm gonna go and grab some more. But
yeah, right. Yeah.
They just you kind of trick yourself, I think. I mean, sometimes you write a song, and sometimes you're given a song, and every time I think I write one way, something comes along completely different. I've pulled hair out over tunes, and then I've written 7-minute songs in 5 minutes. I was like, how does that even work? And so it's really I have no explanation.
Yeah.
For it, I don't know.
Do you got a song in you that you think that you've been rolling around recently, that those words came to you, to know where they were from, but they sparked a thing in you?
Yeah, I got, sometimes I surprise myself, and that's a good thing and a bad thing, depends on what I'm surprising myself with. And I got this whole list of songs here, but I think I'm going to call up a special guest. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Mr. Dan Connolly, I'm sitting on his couch right now.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, speaking of special songs and where tunes come from, he's got one that is coming from a real good place. And I think I'm going to call him up to play one.
That sounds fair enough.
Dan, you want to get up here? Snuggle with me?
Dan Connolly, everybody.
This is a cool case. It's upside down though. I'm sorry, I'm a little OCD. It's just kind of weird.
That's a cool case.
I don't know. Other than that, this is a good vibe up here. I like your chair vibe,
yeah. Welcome Dan Connolly to our stage.
Everyone has their own kind of thing, right?
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be OCD about that. It was just the hands down thing is kind of like the hands pointing down. This was like a little, maybe an example of this whole kind of thing you're talking about. I don't know why it just kind of works out this way, but it happened to be the subject. So this song about a guy.
Okay.
Hands down love, hands down a giver, a shining soul, deeper than any river. Hands down a lover, hands down a giver, shining soul, deeper than any river. Hands down a lover, hands down a giver, with the shining soul, deeper than any river. got some guitar in you? Or you can just do this one if you want, like that. Check it out. Then a B flat. Hands down, love, hands down, a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down, love, hands down, a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. All right. You guys help me with this. I need a little beat, and then you kind of just do this along with it. Oh, hands down, love, hands down, a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down, love, hands down, a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down, love, hands down, a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down, love, hands down, a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river, yeah. I'm going to tell you guys a story while we keep this going. So you got to be singing this part, all right? Sing it. Come on. Sing it part. Hands down a lover, hands down a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down a lover, hands down a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down a lover, hands down a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Yeah, hands down a lover, hands down a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Check it out. Keep that going. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Yeah.
Come on, you get out what you put in. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on, I need you. You can remember these lines. At least bang something. All right? Deeper than any river, yeah. All right. Here's the story I'm going to tell you. These here hands, these are the hands of your child's and your woman. See that? Isn't that cool? If you can't remember the words, this is for Clint. Sing it. Come on now. Oh, hands down a lover, hands down a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river. Hands down a lover, hands down a giver with a shining soul deeper than any river.
Oh, that's so sweet. There, that was the greatest way to give a gift. That's like, yes.
You can't just have a case.
No way, really? Really? Oh my God. It's my dream guitar. I've always wanted a Fender Telecaster with the Native American artwork. I never seen one ever. That's my dream guitar. Serious? Oh my God.
So that's spring. This is summer. This is fall.
I would never be that presumptuous or go that far. But what's a happy birthday without a guitar? Here we go. The D, the C, the G, the C.
I've never done it better, actually. What do you think?
Happy birthday, Clint. It only happens every once in a while. And when it happens to you, you just gotta do it in style. Get all your friends out. And to the bookstore. Because you know it's more than just a bookstore. You get a brand new guitar with a unmatchable pick guard.
I know, right?
Just trying to get some sounds out of it sometimes can
I got sound.
be a little hard, but it's coming up.
Boys, will you guys help me out with the song I'm writing right now? It starts like this. We're gonna switch keys to E. You got something in E?
Fighting her all off.
We're fine.
Man, what have we been doing?
Oh my gosh, this is like I've done my very first birthday ever. I've got a guitar and I just figured out how to tune it. You guys are the most polite crowd ever. That's the G. It's the one song that Clapton and I both have in common.
So this is what it's actually like when you write a song.
This is
This is what it's
where
like
the
when you play a
magic
song.
This is the magic right here, right? Thank you very much, everybody. Holy moly. You can't beat that right there.
That's a beauty.
Playing a brand new guitar with your two guitar heroes. That's like, that's incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy birthday.
You can change pick guards too.
I might change pick guards for a second set, too. I don't know. I don't. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Okay. I'm clear? Holy moly. I can't even beat the guitar stand, too. Wow, that's incredible. Unbelievable. Holy shit. What's that?
I done sucked the juice out of this pickup.
Yeah?
Could I use your acoustic? Plug in.
Does that do a 9-volt in there?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Could.
I might have one. I don't guarantee it.
Okay. Back in the olden days, that was something you would never hear between guitar players.
9-volt battery?
You got a 9-volt? Is that a...
He loves coal. You
Right.
want coal?
You got a 9-volt. Oh, shit. A lot of times we tune on something called a snark or a smartphone. That's another new thing. Guitar players. Oh, we're screwed down. Yep. Play a little something there, Dillon.
Songwriting is a lot like what has taken place on this stage in the last 10 minutes. Do you think any of you could explain what you've just witnessed? That's what writing a song is kind of like. There's, that's just the nature of it, really. You don't know what you're getting into until you're up there doing it, and it's what you get. Kevin, you good? You good? Should I just lay one out here? Should I just start playing a tune here? Okay. All right, let's see. I'm gonna play a short tune. This song is called An Older Brother's Letter, and it's off a record I have for sale, A Stranger Here. This is a funny song. I wrote a verse and a chorus, and I thought it was going to be a really long song, and then I just tried and tried, and nothing came, and I realized that was the song. It's about a minute long, maybe more, but it's an older brother writing to his younger brother, and they've kind of got on in life, and I don't know. It's a letter. If you're going down to Dallas, poor mama a shot, and tell her this one is on her oldest son. And give her all the love I got. And tell Marie I'm clean now. Like a warm summer rain. And tell her I'm back on track. I drive around a big old Cadillac. And I spend each night just calling her name. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Everything's still going wrong. Yeah, the days run like the horses I wish I put my money on. And I ain't driving Cadillac. I just been drinking all night long, wondering where time is gone. Okay. All right. I don't know where the guitar went though.
It's old. It's never been open, but it's, you know, it's been like,
Cool.
I don't know how much charge is in it. It's old.
Wow. Already the night has taken a hard left.
It's,
No.
it's like songwriting.
I can't even like songwriting.
That's
Yep.
what this is.
Oh my gosh. Will you give me that? And I would say it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably out of turn, but it's getting to be my bedtime.
Yeah.
And I got a question for Dillon about where the words came from. The came to dust.
Oh yeah.
Anything you care to share about that?
From the mountain comes the dust. That one, its central image is from the mountain comes the dust, from the rain comes the rust, and for every baby born, there's a ghost looking on. From the mountain comes the dust. And it's always something that I saw clear, like the idea of a mountain crumbling away. And but I didn't. It just the image took root in my mind, and it just kind of came. And then a bunch of characters kind of showed up in the tune. There's a woman in the alley with a hair full of wilted flowers, and I ask her for a rose, and she gives me a seed, you know. And then there's the man playing the guitar. And I don't know, it's just kind of a combination of I see all these people really clear in my mind, and a lot of times they're me. But, and then they somehow all tie up to that idea of a mountain crumbling away. Is that the beginning? Is that the end? Or is that just how it goes? I mean, and yeah, maybe I'll play that one at some point tonight. But yeah, that's one of those ones that I got lucky.
Yeah.
I think I got lucky with it.
Thanks for making the CD and only want $10 for it.
Oh, hey, that's right. Dylan's got CDs for sale over there. Yeah, and
That's,
Jim's got CDs for sale over there, for sure.
Well, you know, their suggested donation, $10. If you only got $1 and you dig it, man, throw the buck in. I'd rather you have it and like it than not have it and hate it. Whatever that means.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, with that, Jim, why don't you...
There's another question back there.
Yeah, another question. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, totally. I'll play that next then. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got a question?
More of a technical question.
Sure.
I'm just learning to play the ukulele.
Yeah, ukulele.
I play the washboard. You heard us playing earlier. When I start to sing, my hands stop.
Huh.
What is a good way to get over that? To be able to strum and play at the same time, and sing.
It's walking and chewing gum.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you just...
Exactly what it is. No, you got to get used to it. You're gonna most guitar players that I know that are really kick-ass guitar players that sing, their voices suffer, and most singers who are really good singers and writers and all that, their guitar playing is you really can't do both at the same time with equal brilliance.
Yeah.
One is going to take a back seat to the other. So when you sing, you should let the guitar take a back seat, and when you stop singing, the guitar should come out. Ride yourself like that.
Yeah.
You know, and if you, I mean, right now, how long have you been playing?
Not even like 4 or 5. No, I've been playing longer than that.
How long have you been singing?
Give the
and
man
playing?
some credit
I haven't
here.
been able to sing. Every time I start to sing, my hands don't want to work.
Okay.
They just stop.
Okay, how long have you been playing?
About maybe a month or 2.
Oh, geez, give yourself time. Give yourself time, man. I mean, I'm serious. You got to find the place where
Keep
your
doing it.
voice actually
Yep.
kicks in, where it actually goes in there. You don't even know you might not even know where the cues are. Like if I don't know about Dillon, but if you asked me to recite the lyrics to a song to you of mine, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. I could get part way and then I'd screw up because I've memorized it with cues. Like a stage actor has cues, and the cues are in my hands. Okay, they're in my forearms. Muscle memory, the cues are in the chords and the grooves. And the accents, that's where the words live, in there. So you got to find where those places are in your hands when you sing, and you don't know that yet. So give yourself time.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to write a song about Bradley Manning. Does everybody know who Bradley Manning is? Who does not know who Bradley Manning is? Yo, there you go. Isn't that interesting? This is America after all. Bradley Manning released the largest, so far as I know, the largest amount of secret intelligence in American history. And he gave it over to WikiLeaks, and he did it because he was an intelligence analyst, and he came across things that were going on in Iraq, specifically a film which he sent to WikiLeaks, which they called Collateral Murder, which if you haven't seen it, I reference it in the song, you really need to see it because it is filmed from the cockpit of a helicopter as they are firing on these people down below who are civilians, in fact. Okay? And they are excitedly asking, please give us permission, please, please, like they can't wait to get permission, and then they just start to fire. And you see these people fall and get up and then fall again. Oh, he's moving, and shoot him again. And it's like you watch it and your mouth hangs open, and Bradley's mouth must have hung open. And he went in every day with some blanks and some thumb drives, and he would listen to music with his headphones on and sing along to Lady Gaga, and he would download all this information to his thumb drive and then release it. Okay? So he's in custody now, and they basically want to put him away for the rest of his natural life. They are accusing him of committing a crime when, in fact, what he did was reveal the commission of a crime. Okay? And it affects all of us, because if it is illegal to point out a crime, then what chance do we have as a species, let alone as Americans? We have no chance if we can't point out a crime and have something done. So anyway, I wanted to write a song about it, but I didn't want to do the usual sort of this is what happens, that's what happens, and do kind of a, rhyme a newspaper article sort of thing. That gets really tedious. So I wanted to write kind of a picture thing. Just pictures. And I wanted to wrap it around the idea that what you don't know can kill you, rather than they say what you don't know can't hurt you. No, what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. They say the truth will set you free. That's not true. The truth will get you actually arrested, and it'll get you killed, and it'll get you disappeared, and you'll wind up in the river with concrete boots on. That's what the truth will do for you if
Happened
you're
to
not
my
careful.
uncle.
Happened to your uncle?
Yeah.
There you go. So this is called The Truth Will Get You Arrested. And I only mentioned Bradley Manning once. So if you're not paying attention, it'll go right by. He held that truth like a fistful of lightning, put it out in the world, and he let it go. And it went viral out into cyberspace until nobody could say that they didn't know. And what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. But what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. Should have seen him popping off shots in the helicopter as it hovered overhead. Should have seen the figures on the ground duck and run for cover, stumble in the wounded and the dead. It wasn't like they said it was gonna be. There were no heroes in the white hats. And those people on the ground, they weren't even soldiers, they were civilians. Yeah, what do you think about that? But what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. But what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. They came for Bradley Manning, and they put him in a little white room where the light was always on. And they locked the door behind them. They said, we're going to give you justice until the justice is all gone. But what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. But what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. Get you arrested. Secrets are the fuel that runs a big machine. Secrets are the poison of our history. Secrets are a coward, they don't like to be seen. They live on mystery. They hide in mystery. And what you don't know can kill you. The truth will get you arrested. But what you don't know can kill you. The truth will get you arrested. Some people's heroes are the rich and famous, the powerful, who rule the earth with an iron fist. My heroes come out from under with next to nothing, but still they resist. But what you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. What you don't know can kill you, and the truth will get you arrested. Truth will get you arrested. Get you arrested.
Thank you, Kevin. Let's give Kevin and McKee a round of applause for running sound and changing batteries. And so I got a chance to go to there's a gathering of folk artists through an organization called Folk Alliance. Far West is our division of it on the West Coast, and first time I went to it was in Eugene. Jim Page was down there. So it's a chance to connect with promoters and other musicians, and last year was in Irvine, California. Went there and went into their showcase performance area. And you know, as a songwriter, you go in and I've got my songs. I'm gonna go see what they got. I'm gonna kind of going in thinking, you know, I feel good about the songs I write, and we'll see what they've got. And the first duo, Berkeley Heart is the name of the duo. They came up to the stage, played this song called My Name is Sam. I mean, I'm like 2 verses into it. I'm weeping. I can't take it. It's one of the finest songs I've ever heard. And all weekend long it was like that, of hearing the finest songs. And where do songs come from? And I don't know where this comes from, but it's by Berkeley Heart. And I think the thing is that, you know, you write a song, and the more personal you write the song, the more universal it becomes. That seems to be the trick with songwriting to me, is if you try to write a song that's going to appeal to a masses or a group of people, you're aiming in the wrong direction. You dive in deep to the things that really matter to you, and that's what we share with each other. And we do those in moments, listening to songs in our car, or in those secret places. This is one of those songs. Sam, and I'm the family dog. I lie around sleeping all day long. While Kevin's at school, I'm home alone. And I run to the door when Kevin gets home. And he ruffles my hair and he throws the ball. He plays for a while, then he's off again. And it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. But those few minutes, he's all mine, are the best few minutes of my whole day. My name is Kevin and I'm in the 3rd grade. My dad is named Ben and he works long days. After school, I'm home alone. And I run to the door when my dad gets home. And he ruffles my hair. We talk about stuff. He makes me dinner, then I go to bed. And it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. But those few minutes, he's all mine, are the best few minutes of my whole day. My name is Ben and I'm a single dad. My father's in a home and he's getting real bad. I go to see him with Kevin and Sam, but most of the time he don't know who I am. Sometimes there is the light in his eyes. He says my name, we talk about stuff, and it's just a few minutes of his time, and I'm just another stop along the way. But those few minutes, he's all mine, are the best few minutes of my whole day. Oh, oh, I'm an old man and I lost my mind, and I can't tell what's real most of the time. But there's a boy named Kevin and a man named Ben, and I've seen him before, but I'm not sure when. They always bring a dog named Sam that licks my face and lays his head in my hand. And it's just a few minutes of his time, and it's just another stop along the way. But those few minutes, he's all mine, are the best few minutes of my whole day. Oh, oh. My name is Sam and I'm the family dog. I lie around sleeping all day long. Thanks. Oh, I booby trapped you and unplugged you so I'd sound better.
It's. I just like to say,
The old guitar switcheroo trick.
I'm not the amateur who showed up without a guitar. My band, we're playing actually in Seattle tonight at the Connor Byrne at around midnight, and there was no way I could miss this show, so I had to do both.
Yeah.
But I could only fit one array of this is my electric guitar and all that, and so I wasn't able to bring my acoustic.
Oh, I've got an electric if you want to borrow it too. It's new. It's
Now how we doing, Kevin? Coming through? Okay. All right. Yeah, and I have it's a 4-door car, but my girlfriend and I we just moved to Seattle, and we pay rent together, but it's her room. It's her room. My room is in the back seat of my car in boxes, and that's where it's been. And so it's kind of a man cave now. It's pretty cool.
Do you let her in the car, or do you?
Yeah. She's allowed.
And your car still runs, right? It's.
Yeah. Yeah. You.
Right.
Yeah. You will know me by my trail of smoke when I get out of here. Oh man, I gotta put oil in it every. Oh man, it's
As much oil as gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But I love your version of that tune. I haven't heard the original, but I love the way you do that.
Thanks.
Anybody want to hear anything? I'm just kind of picking them here.
Okay, so yeah, because Mikhail brought it up, but the mountains turn to dust.
Okay.
I'd request that one. That was what Mikhail was talking about, and that's such a sweet song.
All right. I noticed you did a Devils and Dust slip there.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Devils and Dust.
yeah.
Played that with Carver.
Yeah, Carver and I would play that.
Yeah.
And
Reminds me of that, too. It's that.
one of us would always forget the chorus was coming up or
Oh,
something.
my gosh, I know. I was in a woodcarver, and Dillon and I, we were hanging out. Woodcarver was ailing, wasn't feeling well, and we were talking about heaven and what heaven was like, and three musicians, what heaven's like. Dillon's like, I think heaven is where everything's just automatically in tune, man. Saying, I hope that's where you're going. I think, yeah. What we picture as our Eden. A round of applause for Mr. Dillon Warnek tonight.
All right, so this is a tune. This is called "Mountain Comes the Dust," and it's available on my CD back there. My band, we're working on a new CD, but this one's on the one out. Met a woman in an alley with wilted flowers in her hair, with a beauty cracked and broken, but her smile fair. And she addressed me as child, Said, what is it that you need? Said, all I ask for is a rose, and she handed me a seed. Said, there is no hurry, my young friend. Remember, all seeking trails eventually must end, and from the mountain comes the dust, and from the rain comes the rust, and for every baby born there's a ghost looking on, and from the mountain comes the dust. I heard a man playing guitar, singing songs about loss, with a hammer hidden in every line, but delivered, man, you wouldn't believe how soft. And I just stood there, I was hypnotized, transfixed by the sound. And all around me the people passed by, oh, but I was nailed to the ground. And on my face I saw a question, and how he did I don't know, but he sang the answer loud. It's not about what you have, but what you let go. And from the mountain comes the dust, and from the rain comes the rust. But for every baby born there's a ghost looking on, and from the mountain comes the dust. So as I continued on, everything as it was appeared. The stars, they're just busted glass, the moon a dirty mirror. I saw myself reflected, I saw the movement of it all. I saw a young boy who's made to run. I saw a man made to crawl. Saw the war medals of my grandfather. I saw my mother's dinner plates. I saw my sister's child's clean hands run across my brother's face. I saw the road before me. I saw what I'd left behind. I saw the seas of infinity, and I saw that river of time. Mountain comes dust, from the rain comes the rust. For every baby born, there's a ghost to mourn, and from the mountain comes the dust. I mountain comes the dust.
Nicely done, Dillon. Fucking A.
Well, I don't know if Joe is still here, but this is Joe and I were talking about stuff earlier on, and we got to talking about blues singers, Lightnin' Hopkins in particular, John Lee Hooker, people like that way back. My original heroes and turn-ons in the music world were the acoustic country blues players. There's a whole bunch of reasons. One of the reasons was because when that music was going around and being built, you know, they didn't have MP3s and MP3 players and or all the radio stations and stuff, and so nobody sounded like anybody else. Really, nobody, and they didn't do it on purpose. Nobody sounded like anybody else. And also because there is a thing that it's really hard to explain, but to me, the purpose for trying to do this in the first place is to access that something that you can't access in other ways. When we talk to each other, we're careful of our social mores, careful not to insult. You know, you go into a bank, you got to be dressed correctly, all this kind of stuff. But when you pick up a guitar or a violin or whatever instrument it is, there's something you can accent which doesn't have anything to do with clothes or nationality or class or anything. It's a completely separate, totally human, international thing. I have a record at home called John Lee Hooker Live at Newport, 1962. And I don't know if anybody ever knows who John Lee Hooker was. John Lee Hooker exposes the lie to the songwriting workshop nonsense that the ASCAP people like to do when they go around and give workshops, where they talk about the hook and they talk about the rhyme scheme and they talk about the payoff and all that other bullshit. Because here's this guy who wound up being more famous than anybody working for ASCAP. And 9 times out of 10, he never bothered to either change chords or rhyme. So how did he do it? He did it because he was able to access that invisibility which he had and you have and everybody has. My original hero was Lightnin' Hopkins, who came from the same era and was also able to access that thing so that who you would say he was by name and address and the state that he lived in and all that stuff disappeared. Okay? And you heard something that was a river that ran from that well over where he was to the well where you are, and there's a river in between them, and you could hear that, okay? And that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do, okay? I'm a white guy from San Jose. My father's a NASA engineer, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play the blues. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my thing, right? I'm going to do it like it's, but I'm going to access that thing if I can, and sometimes I can hit it, and most of the times I can just get close, and sometimes I'm miles away. But you got to go for it anyway. So I wrote a song about my hero, and I got to meet him. His name is Sam Hopkins, and they called him Lightnin' because he recorded in L.A., I think it was way back in the 20s there sometime, and the manager gave him the name of Lightnin', you know, and he recorded with the piano player, and he was Thunder. So Thunder and Lightnin'. So the piano player didn't like it. He went home. Fuck this, I can't stand it. Lightnin' liked it, so he kept the name. Okay? Now, he never finished grade school. This is a guy that never finished grade school, and I don't even know if he could read. I actually don't know that. He could have. I don't know. But I know he didn't finish grade school. But he wound up doing a command performance for the Queen of England. Okay, he would play the Paris Opera House. He played the that place in New York City, the famous places. And then he would come back home, and he would set his little kitchen chair on the sidewalk out behind his apartment in Houston and play for the neighbors. You see, it was that kind of a totality. So I won't talk anymore. I'll just sing the song. No one could sing the blues like Lightnin' Hopkins. I don't care what anybody said. I was 15 years old riding by the passenger window with my radio up against my head. And that's when I heard him for the first time, cutting in through the noise of the car. And my whole world turned upside down. I just had to learn to sing and play guitar. So I got on my bicycle with the high-rise handlebars, and I would ride for 20 miles on a run. I got every one of his records I could find back then. Yes, I did. I had 11 of them by the time I was done. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's all right. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar all night. Now, years later, up in Seattle town, lightning came through playing 3 nights in a row. I caught up with him early in the dressing room. Somehow I just had to let him know. So I took out my guitar and I started playing. And I made him up a song to tell it right about the radio, the car, and all of his records. And how glad I was to meet him that night. And I sang about what he taught me without even knowing it. And all the lessons I still had to learn. And Lightning, he just grinned. When I was done, he told me a story in return. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's all right. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar all night. Now this is what he told me. He said he was walking around the backwoods down in Texas one time when he was only 12 years old. He was carrying his guitars almost as big as he was. He was tired, hungry, and cold. He saw some people were having a picnic, and he asked if he could sing for his meal. They turned him away, he said, because he was too raggedy. He could still remember how it made him feel. Then he looked off into the distance through his dark sunglasses, and he grinned a little more just for chance. He said, now I got money in the bank back home, and they know who I am in France. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's all right. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar all night. Now, Lightning died back in '82. I can still remember where I was and how I heard. I was playing the meeting place in Dublin. Local blues singer gave me the word. Now some people, they pass right through you, and maybe they leave a little mark. Some people shine like a light for you sometimes. Help you find your way when it gets dark. They say that this world is made of stories. From these stories our songs are grown. Sometimes, you know, the song just gets so big, you have to go out and make a song of your own. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's all right. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar all night. I want to say one more thing, and I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. I got a record at home of Lightning, and on it is Lightning Hopkins and Sonny Terry. Sonny Terry was almost totally blind. He could see light and dark, but that was about it. And so they're improvising a song. They're trading verses, okay? And in that song, Sonny improvises about how he's blind and he can't sing, and Lightning comes back and improvises how he can sing, but he's got 2 eyes and doesn't need both of them. So I'll give you one.
Oh, wow. Mr. Jim Page, everybody.
Excuse me, Clint, you don't mind if I sit on a park bench? I'm going to drink like I'm on a park bench. Right?
You know, we were putting together the show, right? And trying to figure out, I mean, what we're sitting on, we've all lived on things like this, all 3 of us. And we wanted to just make sure that there's a malt liquor and a paper bag underneath the park bench. Dillon's got something in that down there. And what you got, Dillon?
I'm regretting not taking the park bench.
There was more payoff on the park bench, wasn't there, though? Was that watermelon? Oh my God. So speaking of park benches and street music, I last fall went down to Occupy Wall Street. Brought my guitar, went to New York City with Sarah and Kevin and Makia. I've been playing at a lot of the Occupy movements here in Seattle, and Jim has been, and Eugene, and but I wanted to go to New York, and we were going there, and it's the night before, gonna go play on the street. I'm a little bit nervous. It's the big city, and so I called Jim Page on the phone, and call him up just to see if he's there on the other line, and he picks up, and we start talking. I say, hey, where are you at? I'm in New York City, man. And told me living in New York City and playing there during the folk scene and park benches and how comfortable they are through the night, and talking to me about New York is this place where it's safe, and it's safe because if you are who you are and you are walking through and you're clear about that, that's what it is, and you're safe that way. And so, following day went down and brought my guitar, and we went, and the Occupy movement was doing a free university day, where they were breaking up into free classes to talk about our human rights and how to speak, and brought my songs to be part of it too. There's this fight. This thing that I don't know how to play the blues, but I can play guitar all night. It's this thing that we have our voice in it, and can you give Dillon a swallow of that when you're done? Because I think Dillon is. So the first song I sang when I was there, about that thing that no one can take away. That thing where the song comes from. Stranded at the crossroads between wrong and right, awake in the moment at the strike of midnight. Any move that I make will take me from here. You can cast me out to sea while the storm rages on, and I'll be carried upon the waves like the chords of a song. But there is still one thing that can't take away. My hands in the dirt, oh, my eyes open wide. I live by the rise and the fall of the tide. I will head with my bow and face it into the wind, 'cause you can cast me out to sea while the storm rages on, and I'll be carried upon the waves like the chords of a song. But there is still one thing that can't take away. You can blindfold the truth, you can leave me no choice. You can beat me down, oh, and harsh my voice, but I'll hold in my heart what they can't understand. For I've lived within the lies that we proudly get fed, and I've been lost into a world with no place to lay my head. There is still one thing that can't take away. In a country bought by greed and hungry for more, with the crook for a king who has sold us to war. You can fight and you may die, but I'll know where you stand, 'cause you can ask a man to kill, you can beg a man to bleed. Tell me, where is the honor in taking more than you need? There is still one thing they can't take away. There is still one thing they can't take away. Ow, ow, ow! Yeah. Thanks. Anybody got a question for Dillon? Could be a musical question, could be a philosophical question. That's a damn good question.
Coles.
He had to steal it off of a man when he was, I'll tell the story, Dillon. Wasn't Coles here in town. It was. Okay, next question. More questions. I know. Yeah, you got one.
How?
Do you ever have a hard time controlling your emotions? Like there's a way of, because you guys emote so much. Like how do you keep it in control so you don't lose it and you can keep on performing?
It's a good question, yeah. Your emotions, how do you keep your emotions in check? Because every song is a different opening of a door of a bunch of emotions. And you might have written that song 10 years ago with a really strong emotion, and you're still playing it today. And you want to make it as real as it was. You know, I think, and over-emoting is just as bad as under-emoting too, right? I think
It's better to under-emote.
it's better to under-emote. That's the lesson I learned from you write these lines and then you'll throw them away. Like you don't make them, I mean throw them away in the best way of like, you don't put them as the catch line,
You hear them.
as the catch line of the chorus, you know, where all the, you know, you've spent your expensive line on that part. It's like, I look at it like this. I am a samurai clown. Yeah, so I take my art and my work deadly serious, as a ninja or a samurai would, right? With honor and dignity, and it's deadly, and people can die. And I'm also if you don't like that, I'm a clown. Da 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 da.
And more people will die.
And more people will die. I think it's about staying true to that moment and trying to play that honest. And the song writes you write the song, and every time you play, it's a different kind, and you keep it in check. And sometimes you lose it. I'd like to introduce Dillon and hope that he doesn't lose that on the next song. Dillon's already lost it. He's.
Anybody want to hear anything? Oh.
Blind?
Blind.
Neighbors
Can't
are at
help
it
my
again.
Eyes, the neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
You've been teaching my son guitar for like almost 2 years, and you're fabulous, and so is he. And I just want to say that one time when you were telling us how to pick a guitar for John,
Uh-huh.
you said that it has to be the guitar that fits him, that feels right, and the guitar will, if the guitar's in the room and John's not, it'll still be like John's in the room.
Uh-huh.
I think there's a song in there.
Yeah. You should get him to write it. You get the student. That's
Hey,
what
is
we
that
need.
the guitar player right there?
That's
nice, man.
It's a good idea. I'll give you a week, and if not, I'm stealing it, John.
Oh, he's being nice. He gave you a whole
Yeah.
week too. Right. Yeah.
What's
Do it right now. That song on stage.
No.
Right. Yeah, I got to tell you that. Right. There's no.
Yeah, I'd hate for you to find out how uncreative I am. After all of this, to just find out that I'm not creative.
John, we got an open mic tomorrow night. You got to bring your guitar out and play for us tomorrow night. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the requests They may be played. I don't think I'm going to play either one of those right this second. Neighbors, I think I can pull that off. Those are old songs. The older a song gets, songs are your babies, but then once you start getting a couple albums down the line, they're more like your estranged children. They never call. They never write. And you just keep making new ones. This is a tune I wrote. I write tunes in my head that I think people would like. And I wrote this one for kind of my keyboard player when he joined the band. He loves the Grateful Dead, so I kind of gave him a Grateful Dead style change. And then I was kind of thinking of Clint. I was thinking of the lyrics on this one. And I played with the band. This is a song we do. It's a rock and roll song, but I'm going to strip it down and I raised the key. Hopefully I can sing it. This is called Lost in the Wind. Well, that'll dream. Be kind to me. You can have my time if you want it. Just show me sweet sights unseen and paths too worn to be walking. I'm a young man, I'm an old man. It's many a day I've been born, so idle dream, be kind to me. I just want once more to be lost in the wind, lost in the wind, to be lost in the wind again. Season change, river roll away, passes all things should. Just let me hear, way down in my soul clear, that wild humming saying it's all good. 'Cause I'm lost in the wind, 'cause I'm lost in the wind, 'cause I'm lost in the wind again. Oh, just give me a highway, point along the horizon. I wanna feel the daylight crack. There's nothing I'm needing. You can leave the map blank. I won't be coming back. So idle dream, I call to thee. She rock me gentle, she rock me rough, and turn my burdens all into feathers, and make me a mountain out of love. I'm a young man, I'm an old man. It's many a day that weighs on me, so idle dream, I call to thee. I just wanna be wandering, lost in the wind,
We were talking about that songwriting process. Now, first time, Jim, I'll let you
I'm so
take.
drunk now, I don't know if I can pay. Oh, wait a minute. This is only tea. Jesus.
Oh, hey, that's green tea right there, Jim.
How do I get
That's
drunk with
not.
green tea?
A lot of what you're seeing is an act. Its name isn't even really Jim. That's
That's not
a
even a
rock and
bench.
roll stage name.
That's not even tea in there. That's
It's
just
I was saying that the creative process. The first time Jim Page ever played here, I got maybe the show started at 8. I get a call at 2 minutes to 8. It's Jim Page on the phone, and he can't find it. And he's at one QFC or the other QFC and can't figure out which way to get to Redmond. And so I steer him in. He gets in stage, and like a whirlwind, he comes up, pulls out his guitar, we plug it in, we start the sound check. He starts doing this, and then starts talking, and the microphone works. Then he sings his first song, which is about crossing the bridge, getting lost at the QFCs, making it to a soul food, to a thing. And he writes the whole experience out. I'd never seen anybody do it as fine as you, Jim. And so I would like to maybe do a creative test. Let's pick 3 different things and topics that maybe we could give out to you that you could put into a song. Would that be fair? What's that? Joe. Joe, okay, Joe.
Joe
Coffee
is
or
one
the
of
person?
Is one of the topics?
Joe is one of the topics.
Okay.
Oh,
Lake Sammamish.
Lake Sammamish, good. What do we got?
Yeah, we were throwing this in like a hot air popcorn popper.
Yeah, totally. Creatively speaking, we're all creative.
It's got to count as more than one.
What key would you like it in? Oh, got it. Jim.
I took my stapler out. I was looking for paper, I couldn't find none. Said I'll get it later, I know Joe's got some. I'll go over to his house. Where does Joe live? He lives in Lake Sammamish. Now, you knew that was coming. I was just cheating. I was living outside the warehouse. The tin roof was all full of holes, and it was raining all night long, but it was a perfectly good, reasonable excuse to be there. I had a dog's breath. I was getting my hair cut, scaring myself to death. I was scrounging up cigarette butts. I was in New York City. I was talking to Wall Street. I was Clint McCune. I was getting brand new guitars for my birthday.
Yeah.
I was challenging that guy from Seattle to come up with something improvisational and spontaneous, and he couldn't do it. I was wondering who Dillon Warnek's barber was, but he wouldn't tell me. And I couldn't find that soul food books for the life of me. How many QSCs do you have in this town anyway? Come on, man. He says it's easy. He says, yeah, so is an appendectomy if you know what you're doing. Who was that man that just picked up a drink that doesn't belong to him? He's taking it back behind the counter. He probably wants a tip. I haven't tipped anybody in so long. He's getting some blue water out of that thing. Now, how come the water looks blue? It's the light behind. No, it's not the light behind. It's the light inside. No, the water is blue. I know what I'm doing. I'm not hallucinating.
It's a reflection from the sky, Jim. I think it's a...
Now, I know this isn't the song that you wanted to hear. But it's the only song that you're gonna get out of me in here. So it'll have to do. I hope it's alright, it'll have to do. That's it. Good night.
Yeah!
I couldn't remember everything you said. Way too much stuff.
That's great.
Oh, sometimes it's better than others.
The only fella that I know can do that. song that I wanted to play for sure tonight, because I got a chance to play it 3 years ago. 3 years ago, May was born, and it's in the time of our anniversary, our Soul Food Books Cafe anniversary. Next weekend is actually our 7 years of being here. Yeah, a round of applause for that. 7 years of chakra talking, incense burning, cape wearing. I mean, just right. It's
In Redmond of all
in
places.
Redmond of all places, right? Before Soul Food, it wasn't safe to come out of the Evergreens, but now with Soul Food, you can come out here. We can have a crazy day, have a conversation, listen to impromptu songs, and next weekend we're celebrating our anniversary. We got a big dance, a fancy dance where you get to dress up, and a fancy Friday night dance with a funk soul band, the horn section, a 9-piece band on this stage. And then Saturday is our tribe day from noon till close. We're going to have our favorite singer-songwriters and storytellers here all day and all night to tell the story of what's happened and what's to come. So we want to invite you all to celebrate our anniversary next weekend. And 3 years ago, we brought May to the anniversary party. She was a week old. And I remember before having her, there was just this, where do babies come from? And I mean, I know that part, but like, where do their spirits come from? Are they choosing you? Is there a divine order to it? Boom, 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 boom. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. I'll bet you say, what can make me feel this way, my girl? I don't know much about you, don't know who you are. We'd been doing fine without you. We could only go so far. I don't know why you chose us. Were you watching from above? Is there someone there that knows us? Said we'd give you all our love. Will you laugh just like your mother? Will you sigh like your old man? Will some things skip a generation like I heard they often can? Are you a poet or a dancer, a devil or a clown, or a strange new combination of the things we've handed down? Wonder who you will look like. Will your hair fall down in curls? Will you be a mama's boy or daddy's little girl? Will you be a sad reminder of what's been lost along the way? Maybe you could help me find her in the things you do and say. May not always be so grateful for the way that you were made. Maybe some feature of your father's that you'd gladly sell or trade. And one day you may look at us and say that you were cursed. But over time that a line has been extremely well rehearsed by our fathers and their fathers in some old and distant town. From places no one here remembers come the things we've handed down. The things we've handed down. Oh, down, down. The things we've handed down. Boom, 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 bum, boom. Boom, 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 bum, boom. For little May. Happy birthday, Maisie. Yeah. Yeah, I dare you to go next, dude.
I don't know. I'd heard that one before.
That's a great song. I had Mark Cohen write it for me for that event. I mean, Mark Cohen wrote it, and I played it for that event. That's a old Mark Cohen song.
I'm gonna play a song I wrote about my grandpa. I wrote it on piano, and I haven't actually played it in a long time. But it kind of Clint sings a tune about one coming in. This one's kind of one going out. Grandpa, won't you tell me all about the war and all the reasons that you fought it for? That the days what brought me here to your door. I wanna know, I wanna know. 'Cause I've been having a hard time lately, and I've no right to feel that way. When I think of all you've been through, quite honest, I'm ashamed. So once again, please tell me how it is I have this name. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. How pretty was Grandma on the night you met her? Did trouble weigh heavy on your brow? Or did you walk lightly knowing things might be a little bit better for you and your own than they ever would for you somehow? And Grandpa, won't you tell me all about this country? It's the home of the free, and it's the land of the plenty. Did you find it was just that, or did it leave you feeling empty? I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. There's some things happening now, they don't feel quite right. War or two going on. Some folks tell me we don't have to fight. Maybe it ain't like your day and things aren't so black and white. Still, I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know. As a young man, did you ever worry? Was my father heavy in your hands? Or did you hold might be better for him and his own than you ever had. You see, Grandpa, the reason for all these things that I ask, I'm 22 years old now. Yeah, I'm newly a man. There's just so many things that I still don't understand. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know.
Yeah, we got some more time for some questions. Yeah, go, Aaron.
Money.
Women. Jim?
Self-definition.
Okay, dang it. Jim answered it honestly.
Yeah, self-definition.
Talk about that just a little bit, Jim.
Well, I mean, you know, most people have definitions of themselves that they get from other sources. You know, I mean, little kids don't know who they are. Other people tell them. You know, and maturing is, I mean, part of the process of maturing is actually authentically finding out who you are, authentically. You know, not pretending, no bullshit, authentically figuring out who you are. And that's getting past the definitions of other people have put on you. Now, if your definition is that you can't sing and play the guitar, well, then that's something you got to struggle. You got to find out that you can. And in the process of finding out that you can, you also have to find out that you will never sound like anybody else.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to, really, authentically, in the end. But at the beginning, you do want to because you're insecure. And you think, well, you look up to David Bowie. You want to sound like David Bowie. You can't. I mean, David Bowie barely sounds like David Bowie. But, I mean, you know. But you're going to try to because you're going to try. Well, first things you learn is other people's songs. That's how you learn to write, is by singing other people's songs, songs that move you. You learn it. And then as you sing it, you try to understand why it moves you. What is it about it? Is it a combination of the way the lyrics put together? Usually the lyrics don't amount to a hill of beans until you put music to them. Then you've got something. So what is it? And you learn it by, you figure that out by singing other people's songs. And it's only natural that when you sing someone else's song to at least a little bit try to sound like them. And that's okay also because you're learning to sing. You're learning to phrase. You're learning how to match your vocal with the guitar or piano or whatever it is. But somewhere along the line, you need to start sounding like yourself. And you have to be okay with that. Most people, when they hear themselves recorded for the first time, freak out. They can't because you had no idea what you actually sound like.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everybody freaks out. It's okay. You know, it's okay. Do it. Do it. And if you actually believe you have, if you actually understand that you have the right to sing, then that will come through the music. And that's really what people want to hear, is that you understand you have the right to sing. Okay, they don't care that much about whether you can hit all the notes or how long you can hold your breath. They don't really care that much. It's whether or not you authentically have the right to sing.
You got one more in you, Jim.
Yeah, sure. I was going to sing this because that was a lovely song you just did. And I wanted to say that when I was in school, high school, that mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the blah, blah, blah. There's that line in there, and it took me years to figure it out. I thought they were singing about a Tara Bullswift sword. You know, and I wonder what the hell is a terrible swift sword? What's a terrible swift sword? It took me years to figure out what they were singing was terrible swift sword.
A terrible swift
Yeah,
sword.
that's bad phrasing. Don't ever sing like that. Terrible swift sword. It's a terrible swift sword. This is a song also about somebody going, passing away, dying. And it's called Hole in the Air. It goes like this. There's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, through a hole in the air. She had a good life. She was the pride of her hometown. And her dreams came true like dreams will do, and they don't let you down. She had a true love, as true as love will be. And their lifelines were intertwined for all the world to see. Now there's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, through a hole in the air. And there were times when they were timeless then. And the seasons passed through window glass, and they became best friends, and the planets rolled round a great revolving wheel. Circumference of that kind of love is something to reveal. There's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, through a hole in the air. Oh, and if I was a raindrop and I fell into the sea, you'd know where I had gone, but you would never find me. And we dance to celebrate, and we sing to tell a tale, remembering the things we bring along the crooked trail, stumbling brilliant, we unnecessary fools. The diamonds and the tears, they all look like jewels, and there's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, through a hole in the air. And there's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there, through a hole in the air.
Those lines that you're like, oh, thank God somebody sung those words together. It's like,
What word?
I said, there's a hole in what you were just saying. What a privilege it is to sit in between two of the finest local musicians, Mr. Jim Page and Dillon Warnek tonight.
I need to say something before I forget. I have a concert tomorrow night in Olympia at a place called Traditions. If you know anybody, if anybody knows anybody in Olympia, and you think there's and you like this and you think they would like it too, tell them to go there, please. 8 o'clock at a place called Traditions Cafe in Olympia. Thank you.
8 o'clock at Traditions, yeah. Dillon, when's your next gig again?
2 hours.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half.
In Ballard?
Yeah,
And
Ballard.
you're going to have to go the long way around, too, because you're not cutting.
I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
You'll get there, yeah.
Yeah, Connor Byrne, my band's headlining the Connor Byrne Pub right on Ballard Ave, and they're there now.
Nice. I got to say, one of the next gigs I've got coming up, which I'm very excited about, is the first Friday of June. The first Friday of June, we are releasing the Brother film. That's right, Captain Chambers wrote a script and filmed it called Brother. We filmed it last fall, and we've been putting it together, working on it, and so we'll be releasing this short film the first Friday of June, the next month. Yep. And I got a song in there, and so come see the movie and that. I also got a gig that I'm playing tomorrow at the the new Tent City in Woodinville, the end of Avondale. There's a new Tent City there, and they're having this welcoming party where the neighborhood can come together with the people of Tent City. And I got a call earlier this week to invite me there. That the band that was gonna play was a homeless band, and they had the lead guitar player had his guitar stolen. So I had this thought, we have these guitars on our wall, so I said, oh, I'll come play, and I'll bring a guitar from here, and then I'll give it to him, and then he and his band that was going to play can play. And that was my thought on giving a guitar. It's kind of funny how when you think about giving a guitar, they kind of come back around. So that's tomorrow. All of us play as many gigs as we can, the right gigs, hoping that our voices will make a difference, and that the songs that come to us from who knows where will float into the ears of somebody that might care, and it might make their day or make it a little bit easier. And that's why we do it. That's the thing. It's a privilege to sit with two heroes of mine here tonight. I was hoping maybe we could all agree upon ending with the same song, maybe, and see if.
I completely forgot about this.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, you just was wondering if you guys wanted to play "The Weight," the old band song.
Yeah, sure.
And then we got three of us, 3-part harmony, but we're gonna fight over who's who. I was gonna ask if maybe you guys could help us in the 3-part harmony part of the chorus of a song we all know, and I might play a new electric guitar.
I play eclectic guitar.
You play eclectic? Yeah. Another round of applause for Jim Page and Dillon Warnek.
Mister, you tell me where a man might find a bed. Just grinned and shook my hand. No was all he said. Take a load off and take a load for free. Take a load off and you put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses. Is that the next one?
Go down, Miss Moses.
I'm gonna go with Go Down, Miss Moses. That's what I'm gonna do. Go down, Miss nothing you can say. That's totally the third verse. That's just for Luke, and Luke's waiting on Judgment Day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Anna Lee? Said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Annie company? Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie, and put the load right on me. Crazy Chester followed me, and he caught me in the fog. He said, I will fix you right if you take old Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, I'm a peaceful man. She said, that's okay, boy, just feed him whenever you can. Take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie. Put the load right on me. Catch a cannonball, that'll take me on down the line.
On down the line.
My bag is getting low, and I do believe this time to get back to Miss Van. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her guards for everyone. Well, take a load off Annie, take a load for free. Take a load off Annie.
You put the load right on me.
Right on.
Right on me. Mr. Dillon, Warnek, Jim Page. My name is Clint. What a privilege it is to hang out with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for the gifts tonight. Thank you very much for the kindness. Yeah. Sure love you guys with all my heart. Come out tomorrow night and play the open mic with us, sing to us, and come celebrate our anniversary next weekend and spread the word. There's a place like this that exists in this little town. Thank you very much tonight.
I slowed down and pulled to the side of the road. I got out, took my shoes off, and started walking in the beach, looking at the Pacific Ocean and being thankful for where I was from. Out there. Met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. Thought he was an old man, but he wasn't 37. He said he'd been riding trains for 15 years. drawing portraits just to keep his belly full of beer. Looked to me like he had died and missed the plane to heaven. But I listened as he told his tales, just talking about wine and women and county jails. We finished off that bottle and smoked half a joint. He said, I came here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. 'Cause it's been years since I'd smelled the salty sea. And he turned his bottle up and down, and I saw him lost, and I saw him found. He said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. Maybe me. I told him too I'd been traveling around, living out of my van from town to town, playing for tips and whatever records I could move. And I reckon I'm not going to be making it big. It's hard to get rich off a tour of coffee house gigs. He said, yeah, but ain't it a blessing to do what you want to do? And I told him I pulled off here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. 'Cause it's been years, and I'll turn that bottle up and down. And you can see me lost, you can see me found. And I said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. Driving around just looking for me, playing guitar. Hard to imagine. I said it's getting kind of late, and I'm thinking about heading down the interstate. So I offered him a lift to San Francisco Bay. He said, nope, I think I'm just gonna sit here and rest. Maybe wait on the Tokyo-Montana Express. Hell, I might just lay here and dream my life away. Gonna sit right here and watch the sun disappear into the ocean. 'Cause it's been years, and I'll turn that bottle up and down. And you can see me lost, you can see me found. There's a place just near Rockaway where you can watch the sunset